Hello everyone, I am Silverraptor and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Arena. I almost said the wrong game, but I am again joined with Thrantar. We'll be playing more Magic the Gathering Arena. Hello Thrantar.
Alright, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be back here, and I'm looking forward to getting into game and seeing what we can come up with.
And what we can come up with is actually going to be a complete mystery, because I'm thinking we could do a draft. Either a quick draft or a competitive draft. I have no idea the format.
I suggest we just go with the quick draft.
Alright. Let's check. So we could use coins or gems, and we get coins in return. I just want to check one thing.
Sure.
To make sure. With the competitive draft, only gems we can play with the competitive.
Right, but do note that unlike many games with sort of split currency, in Arena it's very possible to earn gems with coins just through the normal draft.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Which is what I think we're going to do. We're going to do as many quick drafts as I can afford to do to get enough gems. I do want to try that competitive draft just once, and then I'll be satisfied with my drafting, at least for a bit. So,
all right.
Yep, let's start this. And looks like we're getting 3 extra packs for doing this.
Well, like a draft, you start by drafting.
Right. These are the packs that we make the card from, right?
Correct. Yes.
Now I think the format is I get to keep these cards whenever we pick them in our...
Yes, you keep all of the cards that you pick. So
okay.
I'll point out that just drafting is reasonably efficient from a card generation standpoint. If with your 5,000 coins you were to just buy packs, you'd get 5 packs.
Right.
Of 8 cards.
That's 40 cards, but for this we have slightly bigger packs. We're getting like what?
42 cards.
Okay, well, this is more beneficial, I think, then. And we get to play in the process.
Note that these packs don't actually advance your wildcard tracker.
Right.
So
only the packs that we earn from like here and such.
Right.
Okay. Well, spending this, and we always get a mythic rare or a rare card, and this one's absolutely trash, so I'm not even going to look at it. So let's.
I mean, so these packs are the same as paper packs essentially. They've got one rare that has, I would say, a 1 in 8 chance of being a mythic instead. They have 3 uncommons, and then everything else is common.
Right. Except this entire pack is uncommons.
No, that entire pack is...
Oh, the white... I'm used to black being common. Ah.
Yeah. No, just the silvers are the uncommons, the white is the commons.
Silver and white's just like, if you're not squinting, you sometimes not notice it. Alright, so which is the best card in here?
So in general, like the classic acronym for drafting was BREAD. I forget what half of it stands for. It's bombs, removal, evasion, and then I forget what the A and the D are. But in general, you first want to pick anything that you can play that will take over the game by itself, and then you want to pick removal, and then you want to pick things that will actually get damage through to your opponent, because they have evasion of some sort, whether it's flying or unblockable or whatnot.
Well, nothing here would break the game or win the game on its own, so the removal would be then Seal Away?
Seal Away is pretty good removal. Traxos is a 7/7 for 4.
But that requires we have a lot of historic spells, and that's not a guarantee in draft.
Sure, it's not a guarantee in draft, but if we take Impact 1, pick 1, knowing that we want to be drafting historic spells, we are more capable of supporting him. Although it does sort of warp what we want to take with our later picks.
Yeah, I don't want to do Traxos. I want to Yeah.
The other thing here is I recommend we take the seal away, because you might notice there are only 2 white cards in this pack.
Right.
And Dub isn't that great. You can play it in certain archetypes, but if we take a white card here, the person to our left, because you pick 1 card and then you pass the entire pack left, the person to our left probably won't end up in white, because they're not going to get white cards. If we take a white card here, we take a white card next pack or whatever, they're not going to end up in white, because they're just not going to have any white cards to pick. Which means that in pack 2, if they open, like a Banalish Marshal or something, 3/3 for triple white, that gives all of your other creatures +1/+1. They look at it, they go, man, that's really sweet, but I can't play it. I can't play something that's triple white, so then they're going to pass it to us.
Yeah, and I am perfectly fine with that. And even though Thrantar is saying that we're passing off to the next person, and you guys are thinking, oh, but what about the next person? He's going to be waiting on you because you're taking your sweet-ass time having this conversation. There's no time limit. I'm not sure how it works, but it just picks like a random person at that time and gives us the pack, or...
I suspect, although do not know, that they have some algorithms of pick order that sort of automatically prioritize things based on what real people are currently picking when.
That would certainly be very interesting to examine if that algorithm exists. But yeah,
not something I have actual data on.
All right, I'll take seal away. Okay. So what we have here, we've got a Mesa Unicorn for white. Howling Golem. Whenever attacks or blocks, each player draws a card. Oh, it's not too good. Averd the Cursed. Other legendary creatures you can get +2/+2, but we don't really have any legendary creatures at the start here, so...
Yet. I will note that Dominaria has more legendary creatures in it than basically any Aesid in history. I have to check whether or not like Kamigawa had more, but I don't think so.
That requires a lot, so there's not a whole lot of things that jump out at me. Anything for you? Yeah.
Honestly, I'd probably actually just take Arvad.
Alright. And then we can see where from there. There's a lot of these whenever you cast a historic spell effects. We just need to have historic spells.
Well, I'll point out we already have 1 historic spell. Arvad is historic.
Right. But I mean, if we get this, to get historic spells, we need to get either like Paradic Wanderer or Aether Glider. That would help.
I mean, yes, but we'd want to have the Davenant Trapper first.
It is a 3/2.
I certainly think Davenant Trapper is just the best card in the colors that we're currently in.
Yeah,
because a 3/2 on 3 is better than a 4/2 on 4.
Right.
And honestly, tapping things will push just as much damage.
Yeah. Okay, what's this? Sergeant at Arms. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, create 2 1/1 white creature soldiers. That sounds good with what we have so far, but we also have a 3/2 with flying.
Okay, so one thing to note, there are no black cards in this pool.
Yeah.
Which means that we're probably just not expecting to see black cards. We're probably not in black.
Okay. There is a Sap Herd. That's fairly decent, but yeah, it's like this without just like a selected pool. Nothing really jumps out at me. I'm a little hard pressed on picking out what would probably be our optimal choice.
I kind of like the Surgeon at Arms just because Kicker's nice and flexible.
Yeah, that's true.
You can put it on 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I love how we have a land here at a swamp for each swamp.
It's a rare. I'll point out it is in fact a rare. So a couple things to note. Green definitely looks open. If we want to move into green, we can. If we don't want to move into green, it's probably if we don't want to move into green, it's certainly about the Trapper. And those are really okay. So I'll admit, I have a soft spot for Gaia's Blessing, because I like going really long and grindy and not being particularly efficient. And Gaia's Blessing is amazing at that. That said,
do we want to start dipping into green? Because it certainly seems like green would be an available option in the future. Or should we grab the Devinant Trapper to ensure that we have monopolized white for the next pack, and then we can pick up green as we go on from there?
okay, so personally, I would take the Gaia's Blessing, but I suspect that actually the Mammoth Spider or the Dayavenon Trapper is stronger.
I'll take the Dayavenon Trapper then. That's how I went with my ideas. You may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. That sounds good initially, but the thing is that we need to keep drawing cards to put an extra land out onto the battlefield.
So I think actually I'm actually pretty enthused about the short sword. I think the short sword is actually just really
It is pretty
solid.
good. What's this? Salad Omnivore, sacrifice another creature. Salad Omnivore gets
Also,
plus 2.
that of course the short sword is historic.
I'm just like, hey, you got my attention. Hey, we're back to one of our original packs then, I think. Oh.
Let me see, pick 9 will be back to our original pack.
Okay. Oh, I see. We could start going down green to add 1 mana of any color, or we can get another historic, like a large golem. What's this? You may return another target historic you control to its owner's hand. Or we could get a... Nah, that's a 2/2, just a plain 2/2 for 2.
So, I mean, draft can definitely be quite a bit about curve, because generally you don't have any overwhelmingly powerful tools to catch back up, which means that sort of if you get behind early, you're just kind of behind. It's not like you can then, wrath the board, because you're not going to have a wrath. I mean, maybe you have a wrath, but that's 1 out of every 20 games, 1 out of every 30 games.
Right. So maybe not focus on the huge swell men right now.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly want a creature or 2 at the top of your curve to break board stalls and whatnot, but they're not high priority.
So for me, it's between the Cabal, Evangel, and the Llanowar Envoy, unless you have another thing that catches your eye. What do you think?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
I'm going to get this because it's a 3/2 for 3, and I can add more mana to my mana pool. And it'll get us down to green, which we know is open.
It fixes your colors. It doesn't actually accelerate you any because you're spending 2 mana to get 1.
Oh. I didn't notice that part. Well, maybe it's just a cheaper 2/2 for 2, plus it gets us the blacks alongside Aver the Cursed.
Right.
But then again, we don't have any legendary creatures.
Not that Arvad isn't really doing anything for us right now other than being 3/3 for 5 with lifelink and death touch.
Right.
We're not really. We're pretty committed to being in white. We're pretty sure that white is one of our colors. Black right now, we just are not committed to it. if we think that one of these other cards is better, we can totally take that instead.
Right. This is just a hard pick.
So honestly, I think the Evangel is pretty marginal. I'd actually take the Final Parting. It probably won't make our deck. But if it makes our deck, it's because we have something broken to do with it.
Ah. Okay. I'll put that in the sideboard so that
Right.
we can look at it later. What is this? Sparring Construct. When it dies with a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. That would work with like our historic spells.
I think the Sparring Construct is actually just pretty solid. It's a body to play early. When it dies, one of your other creatures gets bigger, so it's not even that big of a loss. And it triggers historic.
We do have Crowsand Druid as well. I'll do the Sparring Construct, yeah. Okay, so
this is our original pack back.
Yep. So from what we see, there's Dub is still here.
The Dub is still there.
Yeah.
So like no one sold this pack and went into white.
Right.
Because there just weren't enough good white cards in it.
So Stronghold Confessor, if it was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it.
I've actually, like I've seen Stronghold Confessors a couple times. I've drafted Dominator a decent bit. I wouldn't say I'm great at it, but it, like a 3/3 for 4 with Menace, is actually just a pretty solid body.
Yeah.
Because in order to block it, they need to double block it, and at that point, like, it's really hard to have two things with more than 3 toughness to block it with. So in that case, you're still probably trading off creatures, and you're getting other things through if you're attacking.
Right. Alright, I'll take him. Alright, so we've got a couple of black. We've got the Cabal Paladin still, so whenever we cast a historic spell, which we now have a couple.
We have 3 historic spells right now.
Legendary, Legendary's not, does not, sorry. I sometimes confuse historic and legendary. So...
Honestly, I'd take the body over the marginal combat trick.
Yeah.
+2/+1 isn't.
Alright. So now, it's between these 3.
I don't think we need a second Final Parting. I think the thing is situational enough that even in the situation where it's good, we don't want 2 of them.
Right. And so it's between Cabal Paladin and Pardic Wanderer. So we've got a 4/2 for 4 or a 5/5 with trample for 6. And it's historic.
I think the Pardic Wanderer is better, but they're both...
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. In this case, it's actually really easy. You take Slinvoda.
Right. I'm going to put them in the sideboard, so no one else can use them.
Oh, take the Gaia's Blessing. I love Gaia's Blessing anyways.
I'll put that in the sideboard for now.
Sideboard.
And
the Beef Rebel can join them all in the sideboard.
Alright, second. What's this? Deals X damage to each up to 3 targets. Okay, too bad we aren't red.
And we don't really have any legends to help enable us to play it.
Yeah. We've got this, which aura and equipment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast.
I think Denitha is quite solid. She's got First Strike, Vigilance, and Lifelink, so any sort of method of buffing her goes a long ways. If she picks up a short sword and is a 3/3 with First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelink, that's, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is she's historic. It helps us trigger all of our historic triggers.
Yeah. Just taking a look at that. What's this? Gideon's Reproach deals 4 damage to target attacking or blocking creature.
I think in this case I favor either the Eviscerate or the Gideon's Reproach.
Yeah. This is more of a cheaper. It's more of a cheaper kind of remove, even though it's more specific.
Right. Gideon's is cheaper, but it's also narrower.
And we know people aren't really going. We don't think people are going white because we've denied them white early on. So I think Eviscerate.
We don't think the person to our left is white.
Right.
We're currently being passed white cards.
I'm thinking of taking Eviscerate because destroy target creature. That's huge creatures as well.
Very reliable. Like it will destroy a creature.
Yeah.
And it will destroy the creature that you want, as opposed to Gideon's Reproach, which will destroy some creature at some point, but maybe not the creature you most need destroyed.
Right. As additional cost to cast a spell, you may sacrifice a number of creatures. The spell costs 2 less for each creature sacrificed this way. When Togor Fam Incarnate enters the battlefield, up to 1 target player's life total becomes half the starting total, rounded down. That seems... I mean, we are kind of going black, and we do have Final Parting, so we know we do have good card for double black, but I'm not sure if this... It is legendary too.
Right, but the thing is, right, is that...
It's very situational.
A 7/6 for 8 that has your opponent's life total is... 8 is a lot of mana.
Yeah.
And we don't actually have a lot of token generation. We don't have creatures that we don't care about sacrificing.
Right.
Obviously, if you know, on turn 1 play a Sparring Construct, and then turn 2 you play a Sapling Migration to get 2 1/1s, and then on turn 3 you sack them all and play Torgar.
Right.
For just 2. Then you've got the 7/6 on turn 3, and this just looks terrifying. But
yeah, I think this would be good if we had like a Sapperling deck, but we don't really.
But when you play it on turn 8...
Right. Sarah Disciple. I think this is probably the best one, because whenever we cast one of our historic spells, it just gets... Oh, until end of turn.
Until end of turn. So I think the things to consider here are the Urza's Tome.
Okay.
The Fungal Infection.
Alright.
The Blood Hollow Candle.
Blood Tallow Candle?
Blood Tallow, yes. Or another short sword.
Huh. I think I'll do the short sword, because I know what you're going for with these artifacts. Fungal Infection, yeah, we can get up a -1/-1, and that could get rid of like a really small, cheap creature and give us 1/1 green sapling, but
you know that you get the sapling whether or not the creature dies.
Yeah.
Like, worst case, it will always generate the sapling.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure about discarding cards or exiling historic cards from my graveyard.
So the thing is, once you've got 6 lands, you just turn all of your lands into things that aren't lands using Urza's Tome. You're going to have something like 17 lands in your deck.
Oh. Thank you for pointing this out. I think I'll get Urza's Tome. That is a good point.
Repeatable looting is really good.
Baby. Oh, yeah.
Okay, we have an on-color rare. That ability is Note Really Weird.
Before we attack, we exchange our life total with Evera. If we say have 20 life, we go down to 4 life. She has 20 power, And then she has lifelink, so if she gets blocked or does her damage, we get 20 life on top of that. So we're now at 24.
Yes, and if she's sealed away, we just managed to change our life total to 4.
Right.
Like, there is definite potential downside to Evra.
Right. But we are a little bit primarily white, though if I look at it, it's not too huge. I mean, I could be talked out of getting Evra.
So honestly, I think you pick Evra. I'm not sure if she's the best, but how often do you get a chance to pick Evra?
That's true.
And to a certain extent, in order to... You can do a lot of learning just through experience. And you don't open Evra very often. It's very hard to understand how good she is unless you pick her when you have the chance to. And then later you might know whether or not, like, whether she was actually good.
Yeah, alright. I mean, yeah, this is for fun. We don't care if we get too far into the draft or not.
Well, we do care. We'd rather win than lose, I'll point out.
Yes, but it's not the end of the world. So we could try Chainer's Torment to try this thing. Avian Sentry gives us another dude on the field, but a 3/2 for 4.
It's also a flyer. Like,
even with flying, yeah.
I like the Avian Sentry just because it flies.
Alright.
Although Chainer's Torment certainly has the advantage of it'll probably eventually give us something big.
Even though it will cut our life down. But
we'll have gained 4 life first.
Yeah. And if we are able to pair this with Evra Halicon Witness... But I mean, I know it's a real long shot that that's ever going to happen, but...
Right.
I'm inclined to try this, considering how we know the guy to our left is not going to get an Aven Sentry this round. So, I'll probably...
yeah, the guy to our left already passes the Aven Sentry. Like, right now, we're in back 2, so we're passing right.
Oh. No, because all the cards keep flying off to the left-hand side of the screen. That's what I saw, that we passed it to the left.
I think it's left, right, left, not right, left, right. But it's definitely alternate directions.
So what's this? You may put a historical permanent from your hand onto the battlefield.
Also, just one other thing I'll note is that... Obviously, of course, it's non-optimal from an optimal winning perspective. You should take whatever is going to most increase your win rate. However, if you don't think that there's anything that is actually going to relevantly increase your win rate, it's perfectly reasonable, especially in the quick drafts, because they're best of ones. So it's not like you're drafting things for your sideboard or with your sideboard in mind. So if you want, a copy of this rare, then just grab it.
That's
because if at any point you want to have a deck that contains Thran Temporal Gateways, you can save yourself a rare wildcard by grabbing it now.
Yeah. But I have to ask, this Dredge Sentinel, this ability, I have to pay 3 mana, tap him so he's useless, and then he gains indestructible. Like, what's the point of that?
So the thing is, tapping him ends up being not as relevant as you think, due to timing. You can, for instance, declare him as an attacker, and then before damage, pay 3, and tap him, and give him indestructible, and that doesn't remove him from combat. He is still attacking.
Oh, I thought you had to tap the moment you declared he was attacking.
You do tap him when he attacks. The thing is, you're not tapping him as part of the cost. You're tapping him as part of the effect.
Okay.
The only cost is paying 3 mana.
Okay.
As part of resolving the ability, you tap him.
My head's spinning a little bit now, but I think I'll just get the Thran Temporal Gateway. Let's get these rare cards that are being passed over for some bizarre reason.
We probably don't actually want to play it in our main deck, mind you, but...
I'll put it in the sideboard just in case. What's this? Precognition Field. You may look at the top card of your library, and then you may cast the top card in the library if it's an instant or a sorcery card. Nope, that's probably not for us. Ooh, legendary creature. When the Ur goes to the empty one, deals combat damage to a player. That player discards a card at random. If the player can't, you draw a card. So, I think I'm leaning towards this for a legendary creature, and it's better than this.
Yes, but it does mean that we'll need to keep an eye on our curve.
I'm going to put on in the sideboard, so we can easily take a look and see how our curve works. Let's see. Who's plus 2 against indestructible? I'm thinking this Windgrace Acolyte.
So I think there are...
Well, that
four
is pretty
possibilities.
expensive, yeah.
There's the Windgrace Acolyte, there's the Fungal Infection, there's the Adamant Will, and there's the Memorial to Unity.
To Unity? That's to Glory.
Sorry, to Glory. I think the green one's to Unity.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. The Memorial to Glory.
Yeah, to create 2 1/1 white creature tokens, as well as having like a plains. So you said between this, and which one? That. Let's take this. Having an extra, well, it is a little expensive. Ah, what the hell?
I mean, it does fly. Having some flyers is good.
Yeah, we have actually quite a bit of flyers. So now we're at our original pack. We've got Soul Salvage, which we could return creatures from graveyard to our hand, and we've got a little bit of a buffer.
Do we want to combat trick? Do we want to grind more?
I think we want this.
Okay.
Alright. We got this again. So it's between this or Stronghold Confessor again. Kind of tempted to get Stronghold Confessor because we are kind of... We don't... Well, we do have some cheap, but... Gives us another cheap...
I think it's the Confessor. I'm not sure... how much recursion we need. Like, I think we have...
Right. Oh, Sarah's Disciple is still here, and just as I saw it.
Yeah, it's just not tightly prized.
Yep.
While flyers are good, 1/1s don't actually kill people very fast.
Right. Navigator's Compass.
This is Historic.
Until the turn, target land you control becomes basic land type of race in addition to its other types.
It is mana fixing. It does not accelerate you, but it will fix your colors.
That or just another Stronghold Confessor.
Well, will we play the third Stronghold Confessor?
Probably not. Alright, I'm not sure. There, you do make a point. This is historic, and we do have quite a few cards that benefit off historic cards. And then we have another...
Besides, there are more Stronghold Confessors if we want to.
Alright, this, and then that useless thing. Alright, what's this?
Excellent, but there's no way we can play a triple red card. It's just not happening.
Right. Dark Bargain. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand, the other into your graveyard, and it does 2 damage to us. That would help us cycle through our deck. Alright.
So, honestly, I like Invoke the Divine. There are a lot of artifacts and enchantments, and having a piece of removal that works on them is pretty cool, but I can definitely see a argument for Dark Bargain and Gideon's Reproach, and there's a decent chance that to Invoke makes it back to us if we take Dark Bargain.
Yeah, I think, because we definitely know that the guy we're passing this to is not going to pick white, so I think I'll do the Dark Bargain.
There's at least one more white drafter out somewhere.
Yeah.
And quite possibly two.
Ooh, Yargul, Glutton of the Urborg. A 9/3. Oh, that's
Legendary Frog Spirit.
It's legendary as well. That could benefit us, though it is expensive.
It is.
It's either between that or the short sword, I'm thinking.
Honestly, I think I like an extra short sword.
Okay.
But Yargle's pretty solid also.
So we've got 2 short swords now, which actually can go with the Stronghold Confessor, especially if we get 2+1/+1s on it. Honor Guard gets +1/+0 for each legendary creature you control. How many? Is there any way I can quickly check how many legendaries I have?
No, but looking at it, I think you've got 2.
Plus whatever is in
three.
my sideboard.
No, it's in your main board.
Okay.
Just scroll down.
So not that many. We can call the cavalry. What's this? Exclamation event.
We don't actually have any artifacts that we
Yeah.
really expect to die.
Yeah, that's what I was
If we had
thinking.
taken, for instance, the Blood Tallow Candle or whatever it was,
Yeah, then
then
that.
you know, rebuying that and killing a different creature using the elephant would be cool. But
I'm thinking call the cavalry is probably the best of
Okay.
this. We've got another Windgrace Acolyte. Or another Navigator's Compass. I don't think too many people will pick the Navigator's Compass.
so note that the minimum deck size in a draft is 40 cards. We want to be playing a deck of 40 cards, and generally you want to play like 23 cards and 17 lands.
Okay.
Right now, we have 24 cards that we think are going in our main deck. So anything that we pick, we should be picking it because it's better than one of these cards that we have right now.
Okay.
Because we're not going to end up playing all of the cards that we draft, because we don't want to play, let's say if we draft another 10 cards, we'd have like 34 cards. We don't want to be playing like a 50 card deck.
Right. So
55 card deck, yeah.
So we could pretty much grab stuff that's not part of our main color in this pick, is what you're saying.
Well, that's like we could try to develop an entire second color here. That seems unlikely to end up being better than our current colors, but
Right.
but our white is not actually that great.
Yeah, we're mainly
So
black.
actually, if you pull up your sideboard at the moment,
We're primarily black.
yeah.
Maybe a Navigator Compass
for
would work. Or Windgrace Acolyte.
Honestly, I think you can you mouse over the fungal whatever it is.
Doesn't seem too good because we don't really have too many like creatures to drop into our graveyard.
I mean, we're running decent. We're not running all that many creatures, yeah. Just take whatever. If you want more top-end and flyers, you can take the Acolyte.
Yeah, I think I'll put them in. Sparring Construct. That definitely would be
Yes,
good.
I like the Sparring Construct. I think I'd rather run my second Sparring Construct over my third Stronghold Confessor. Divest is a possible choice also.
I think I like the Divest better. To be able to see your opponent's hand, especially this. Alright, we have the... we got an Invoke into the Divine. It's not the one that we passed, but this one got to us. So
I think we take the Invoke the Divine, we find space for it somewhere.
we don't have too many enchantments, so we don't need
We
that.
have the Seal Away, and that's... We have the Chainer's Torment. We could potentially rebuy the Chainer's Torment. But no, I think we just take the Invoke the Divine.
Yeah. Sorcerer's Wand. Encrypt creature has this deals 1 damage to target player. If it's a wizard, does 2. Okay.
Have wizards. It's not that great if you don't have wizards.
So either Navigator's Compass or Cabal Evangel.
Or you just take something that you'll want for some other deck. Because you keep all of the cards that you draft.
Right.
So if you don't think that you'd play the Cabal Evangel, or you don't think that you'll play the Navigator's Compass, because remember, we're probably only playing 23 actual cards. And the quick draft is a best of 1, so it's not like you're going to sideboard in some of these cards.
So let's see. Trample Haste at the beginning of the end step. If it wasn't kicked, sacrifice it. That's an interesting card. We have to have an extra red mana if we want to keep it.
Right.
None of these cards really just seem good. I mean, maybe Sorcerer's Wand for like a wizard deck later, but...
Okay, then take one of the uncommons because it's better progress towards your vault. If you when you pick up your 5th and plus copies.
Alright, Dark Bargain's back. What's this? Sacrifice an artifact, draw a card, draw 2 cards with divination. Huh. Well, if we're going to just be keeping cards because we've got everything we want, probably getting the uncommon. What's this? Wild Onslaught. +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. If the spell was kicked, put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control instead. So for 8 mana, +2/+2 for all of these creatures.
Or we could pick the Invoke the Divine if we think we're playing 2 Invoke the Divines in our deck.
I think we will
I don't
be.
know if we are or not.
We'll find out. So we've got land or land. Rescue Tolarian Scholar and that useless rat colony.
Since we don't have any rat colonies yet, we're not going to play 1 rat colony. So take the Cabal Stronghold and make it 1 black deck later.
Yeah, because we have a lot of black. That would definitely be worthwhile.
We're not playing it in this draft deck. We are not playing enough swamps. Like, once you just be playing solid swamps.
Ah, so I see what you're saying. Probably this. I'll just put in the sideboard. I'll put another Navigator Compass in.
Okay.
See if we want to do that. Unwind, counter, target non-creature spell. Untap up to 3 lands. That might help with our Locust God deck. I'll just take that.
It's possible, yeah.
Befuddle, target creature get -4/-0 until end of turn. Draw a card. That could also be a useful Locust God thing. Vault progress. After dressing your final card, any cards that exceed your force will increase your vault total. Okay. So let's take a look at this and either all the cards we have.
Okay, so currently we have 8 1-drops, which is just more than we need. You don't need 8 1-drops.
So maybe remove Stronghold Confessor.
1 Stronghold Confessor, I think, can go. To be honest, I think the Navigator's Compass can probably go.
Okay.
We don't have that many things that are color intensive.
Right.
It's not like we're trying to get, double of anything before Evra, but Evra costs 6. We've got lots of time to draw our second whatever.
We also have Urgaros, the empty one.
We can put in Urgaros, honestly.
And we also
probably take out the Bardic Wanderer.
And do we need to evoke invoke the divine, do you think?
I don't think so.
Alright.
I think we just need one of the divine.
How many do we have? We have 42 out of 40. How many legendaries do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4.
4. But again, it's all they're legendary, so effectively we've got 3 people that are being buffed by him. So how much do you like a 3/3 Death Touch lifelink for 5?
True. I'm gonna take him out. Though technically we could put him out for 4 with Temporal Gateway, but I mean.
No, it's not about throwing Temporal Gateway.
Right.
And then I'd probably also just take the Cabal Paladin out.
Yeah. Wait, did I take him out? No, I did not.
No.
Okay. Do we try for a final parting or no?
No.
Okay. All right. So do we have too much either white or black in this?
Take out the Cabal Stronghold. It's completely wrong.
Hang on. Let me check here. 43%. Why does it give us 9 planes if we have 43% swamps? I think we should get rid of a plane for a swamp.
Okay. Note that sort of our early curve is biased towards white, though. Basically, everything we have that costs 3 or less takes white mana.
Oh, so that's why it gave us the 9 planes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And like, if you play your first thing on turn 4, and your opponent played a Sparring Construct into a 2/2 for 2, into a 3/3 for 3, and it's just been hitting you.
Well, okay, so we've got Stronghold Confessor and Divest. Those are 1 swamp each. All we have is early. We've got a Sarah's Disciple for white, and then for 3, we've got the Devinant Trapper.
You also have the Seal Away for white. And then at 3, you have the Invoke, the Sergeant at Arms, the 2 Trappers, and Danashaw. And note that we have more things that require us to have double white than we have that require us to have double black. Because, of course, kicking the Sergeant at Arms requires us to have double white.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
And then, of course, Ever also requires double white, whereas Urgros is the only thing we have that requires double black.
Alright, so I think we have our deck.
Yeah, I think that finishes building our deck.
We don't really have anything really huge. I mean...
No, we don't, but we do have flyers. Ever might be huge, it's hard to tell.
Right. And we've definitely got buffers with these short swords.
We've got some short swords, which are nice.
Okay. And... Are you ready for our first game?
I think it might be good to put a break in right here as we finish doing the drafting and building.
Good idea.
And then pick up an episode with us actually playing games.
All right, then that is what we're going to do. So thank you guys for watching. This is the end of the draft building. We've got a white-black deck, which I'm actually going to just change the picture. There we go. It's just for aesthetic reasons. I'll catch you guys all in the next episode. So catch you later.